like subtracting. Like, there's a bridge in there where I had like 3 different bridges running.
Yeah.
And I take what sounds coolest in each spot.
Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of like a matter of like eliminating some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually that's one of the things I was gonna say. So, all right, let me and I took some notes about what I want to talk about. All right. Well, obviously I have to get this out of the way. The song is awesome. The song is awesome. You know, because it's like when we talk about music and what's good in art, right? Like you kind of have, it's almost like a moving target, right? Because you have to talk about what the artist was trying to do and then how they actually did it, right? So like when Drake puts out another 4-minute verse chorus song with him singing and a Noah 40 should be beat in the background, well, it's not super impressive to me because he just didn't aim that fucking high, you know? But then when Kendrick puts out something like Untitled Unmastered, where he essentially tries to rap over a jazz quartet, then the Ain pulls it off with some fucking skill, then that to me is much more, that's something I want to listen to, you know? So I'm talking about it for this song because it's like, I'm always trying to keep in mind what you guys tried to do and how you actually did it. So from that point of view, what you guys actually were aiming for is fucking awesome. And now it's kind of just like the part that I want to work on a little bit is how you actually did it. So I want to kind of work my way outside in. Like I want to work from the beat just to get it out of the way because obviously it affects your voice. Does that sound good? Yeah. So the thing, and I don't know how much, and you can pass this feedback along to your cousin or not, but it's like, I mean, almost what I would tell your cousin is almost what I'm gonna tell you too. For your cousin's beat, you know, the music behind it, if he wants feedback on it, first off, like I said, what y'all are going for is amazing, and people will fucking love it. You know, with the backward sounds, the intricate structure, the complex song structures, like almost like starting back where you begun, like the song is a circle between the intro and the outro. So are you gonna add rap to the outro?
No, how it is right now is how it's gonna.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So like some things I wrote down is like, okay, your cousin has a really good feel, like I'm saying, for like, what would you say? Like the big picture stuff, like structure, right? And how the song flows from one to the next. Because part of what's so awesome about it is how he gets from one sound world to the next, right? When he really flips the beat. And so it's like, so he keeps the string going, and the string is almost like the fucking, like, kaleidoscope or hook around which the whole beat flips. And that's awesome. So the general stuff is perfect, but, like, if I were going to change anything, if I had to guess, do you know what he made the beat with? What program?
Ableton.
Yeah, okay, there are just 2 things, and it's not that the sounds he picked are bad, it's just that the sounds he picked are what might be what Ableton comes preloaded with. So it's like, I can recognize them because it sounds what preloaded patches sound like, because I've worked with these programs before. So just a quick note is, I would change don't change the harmonies, the chords, or the rhythms, but if I were him, I would change the sound of the piano, and I could get a little more into it, and the sound of the cymbal. Because it's just like, they sound super preloaded, and just like, yeah, just like factory loaded, a little almost plastic. But that's literally the only thing I would change, that part. And so then, I want to see if I anything said, okay, and so the vocals, you know, I don't know what you're testing them on, but it was a little hard to hear your vocals at parts, and I know that some of that is on purpose. Like when you have 2 of you rapping, but even at other parts where it was just you rapping, I was struggling a little bit to hear it. So are you still getting it mixed? Are you working through that?
Yeah, it's not. This is completely dry. Like
Okay, yeah.
Literally, just like nothing's touched it yet.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to make sure. So then at this point, then having talked about your the beat a little bit, what were you going for? And like most specifically, why this sounds like Joy? Maybe start there. Kind of like the hook. Maybe start there and then just talk more generally about what you're trying to do. Like this, yeah.
I said that sounds like Joy.
Yeah.
And I kind of meant it like, it wasn't sarcastic, it was like, that sounds good, if only you can hear the noise. Like, it's a good idea if only you could hear the noise. So that's basically what the song's about, is that, you know, joy
Yeah.
just is being and myself. And joy is basically telling me the entire time I'm right here. Like, I'm right next to you. Like, I'm so close to you.
That is joy.
Yeah, that's joy saying that to me. And I can feel joy. I can hear her too, but I hear all this other noise as well. That's why I'm saying if only you could hear the noise. So I'm acknowledging joy, like you are there, and I believe if only you could hear the noise. You know what I mean?
Okay. When you say you, are you talking to the listener or to Joy?
To Joy.
Okay, so you're telling Joy if only you could hear the noise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and sometimes I may. No, I think the whole time I'll be talking to Joy.
Okay, and so you know those parts where there are two of your vocal tracks?
Mm-hmm.
Are one of you Joy?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes, so like, when it's like, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
So especially at the last one, the last one is just when it's just my two vocals. That's me and Joy, and Joy saying, "I'm right here. I'm so close," and I'm saying like, "Yo," I'm at that point. I'm basically like telling Joy, "Hey, like, I want to like follow you." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and she's saying, like, you're making. I'm pretty much making it a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
She's saying, "I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wait. So, but why is it important that you tell Joy you're not going anywhere? Wouldn't it be more important if Joy left you than that you left Joy?
No, that's not how it works. It's like, to me, it's important to let Joy know. Joy's letting me know. That's not. I don't even have to worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like it's
Okay.
so it's just a me thing.
Okay.
I feel like bad, I guess, or I'm beating myself up type deal.
Okay, yeah. So I can say that, like, I would bring that element of the song more to the forefront. And you can do that in lots of ways, because I now understand what you're saying, but I kind of only understand what you're saying because you explained it to me. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't know, at those parts where there are two of you, I don't know if it's like you do something with the mixing and put Joy off to the left, but it's like, what is it that sounds like Joy? Yeah, so maybe part of it is that is just such a general word. I mean, the word that is so general that it could be anything. So it, like, maybe you change it to, like, you sound like Joy, but I just think you kind of have to bring this kind of almost play, right? This interplay. I mean, play like what happens on a stage, but almost like this interplay more to the forefront. Because right now, I'm just kind of not getting that dynamic out of your rap, you know? And it's like, you can challenge your listeners, but honestly, like, listeners are kind of, it's not that they're dumber than we think they are, it's just that it's really hard to understand music. So it's like, I always come back to rappers like Kendrick Lamar. Like, you know To Pimp a Butterfly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know King Kunta?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me play it real quick, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Okay.
I don't want you monkey mouth motherfucker sitting in my throne again. I'm mad, but I ain't stressing. True friends. One question. Bitch, where you and I was fucking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. Kunta, black man taking no loss. Oh yeah? Bitch, where you and I was fucking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. When you got the yams, what's the yams? The yam is the power that beat. You can smell it when I'm walking down the street.
Yeah, so that part, right? It's just so simple but so powerful. You know, it's like it's not hard to make art, right? But it's hard to make good art in as simple a way as possible. So it's like, if I asked you real quick, what's the yams in Kendrick's song? What would you say?
What do you say? What's the yams? There's the power that beat. You feel when I'm walking in the street?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to dig into what he was saying and try to figure it out.
I mean, yeah, but it's like, even like, I mean, it's, I don't know if it's that hard, because it's like he even tells you right after, right? So the way Yams is functioning in his song and working in his song is almost like the way Joy is working in your song. The only difference is that it's really most everyone knows what a yam is, and you can visualize a yam. But the problem is that you can't visualize joy. And he even tells you. He just comes out and says, oh yeah, this is what my symbol means. The yams is the powers that be. You know, the yams is like, it used to be called juice, plug, respect, whatever you want to call it. But the yams is like how much juice you have, right? It's like whether you're important or not. The yams is the power that be. So this is what Kendrick Lamar is good at. He's good at explaining really complex concepts with really simple symbols. And he even does it in his fucking song titles, man. How much a dollar cost? How much a dollar cost? Easy. $1, because you can see $1, but, you know, if you read a title that says how much a dollar cost, well, then it's obvious. Because the dollar doesn't represent money, the dollar represents greed. And then the story itself is about him running into a homeless guy, right? So I'm not saying that you have to simplify or dumb down your music, but it's like you need to find some way to get this symbol to come across. And that's what I was talking about before. You know, like, joy is just really hard to talk about. Not that it doesn't need to be talked about, but like you have to find this good way to talk about joy. So you could create two different characters, and maybe it was just because I was having trouble hearing your lyrics, but like right now, all of that relationship stuff you were telling me about between you and Joy is not coming to the forefront for me. So it's like you really got to cut it down almost and just be like, I don't need this, I don't need that, I don't need this. And just being like, how do I make someone see my relationship with Joy is almost what it comes down to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you agree or no?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, because like this is like, and this gets back to my bigger thing is it's like, I mean, like I've been saying, the beat is awesome, but like I want to hear Harry Adokwa on the beat. And the most I hear Harry Adokwa on the beat right now is when you have two of you, right? But just knowing how like diverse and how creative you can be, I'm like almost disappointed at this point where I hear on this song when I just hear you rapping. I'm like, oh man, why is he rapping? You know, like because I know he can sing and I know he can rap and I know he's got killer lyrics and I know he's got awesome relationship with his audience. So like, why is he just doing what fucking like Gucci Mane does? Why is he only doing what fucking who's the other? Why is he only? What's up?
When was I just rapping?
Oh, like in the middle. Hold on, where are you at, Harry?
Oh, that beat change?
Like right around. Like right here. You know, because it's like when I heard the beat when you were bouncing it, I was so excited to figure out what you were doing. But I think you need to maybe inject a little bit more like energy and charisma into the beat, because like I know what you can do, man. I know. So like let's go to one of those parts where you have two of you rapping. Like right there are two of you, right? Okay, dude. What other rapper do you know puts two of himself on a track doing completely different things like that? You know, this is what I'm saying. But then it's like, bro, this is what I got so excited about. I mean, imagine if you heard, I mean, he's kind of done some stuff, but imagine if you heard Kendrick on like the dirtiest fucking Lex Luger trap beat. You know, I will tell you the thought process going through my mind. I would see the title. Let's just say it's called fucking Trap Music. I would see produced by Lex Luger. I would see by Gucci Mane featuring Kendrick Lamar. And I would not even be paying attention to the first fucking 2.5 minutes. I would just be like, this song doesn't matter. I just want to hear what Kendrick does. Like, this is what I would want to get out of it from you, man. Because it's like, I'll play you a beat like that, where everyone else just kind of does whatever, and then, like, someone like Kendrick Lamar or Jean Grae gets on and kills it. And you kind of got to hear their... Oh, you know what? Here, we can do this. Okay, so if you know, you know Kendrick, you know Good Kid, Mad City too, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so what's the one? This one. No, not this one, This one. You know that?
Uh-huh.
Alright, so the beat flips, right?
the hood.
Alright, so I skipped ahead to the part where MC8 goes. And MC8 raps. And then Kendrick goes. And Kendrick makes fucking art. And right now, I think part of the problem is that you are both MC8 and Kendrick on this song. So I want us to hear MC8 real quick, and then listen to how Kendrick Lamar just, like, blows up all of MC8's preconceived notions. You know, like, MC8 is just rhyming, bro. MC8 is just writing words over a beat. And then Kendrick Lamar comes in and does something that MC8 could never even, like, imagine in a million years.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, hood took me under, so I follow the rules. Yeah, that's like me. I grew up in the hood where they bang, and niggas that rep colors is doing the same thing. Pass it to the left so I can smoke on me. A couple drive-bys in the hood lately. Couple of IPs with the fucking spray can. Shots in the crowd, then everybody ran. Hood been a slave, street life I crave. Shots at the enemy, hearts turn brave. Mount up, regulators in the whip. Down the boulevard with the pistol grip. Trip. We in the hood still, so low grab straps, so real. Deal with the outcome, a strap in the hand and a bird 10 grands where motherfuckers stand.
Alright, so Kendrick's about to go, and MC8 just rapped, right? He wrote 16 bars and was like, yeah, that's good enough, give me my $10,000 or whatever, and he pushed it out the door. But now Kendrick is about to come in, and his rhythms are crazy. You know, they're all over the place. He's using voice modulation, he's panning back and forth. He's got a synthesizer on like Andre 3000 used to do. His poetry is like fucking biblical. He's not just talking about the streets or whatever. And it's like he just moved rap beyond kind of rhyming or whatever you want to say. So this is the next part.
If I told you I killed that nigga at 16, would you believe me? Or see me to be innocent Kendrick you seen in the street with a basketball and some now ladies to eat? If I'm mashing all of my skeletons, would you jump in the sea? Would you say my intelligence now is great relief? And it's safe to say that our next generation maybe can sleep with dreams of being a lawyer, doctor, instead of boy with a chopper. They hold the courts like hostage. Kill them all if they gossip. The children of the corn, saving their lives and the option of living a lie. Drive their body with toxins, constantly drinking and drive. Hit the powder, then watch this flame that arrive in his eye.
By this point, bro, you've forgotten about MC8. You've literally forgotten about MC8. Like, it doesn't even matter. To this day, I do not know why MC8 is on this album. I know he's an OG from Compton, but it's like, dude, that's all. That's the only thing that justifies his place here. He made the Straight Outta Compton album. God, what was that called? Compton's Most Wanted. What was his group, I think. But at the end of the day, dude, Kendrick just got on. It doesn't matter what MC8 did. So this is the end of it.
This account with the concept is aim and they bang in the slide. Out that bitch with deposit, a price on his head. The tots probably go to the projects. Live inside the belly, had the rough. Compton USA. Made me an angel, ain't rough.
So here, and let me play you one more, because Jean Grey does this all the fucking time. Because she never blew up like Kendrick did. So now imagine that Kendrick was rapping with dudes like 2 or 3 levels below popularity on him. And I'll do a walkthrough of it like we just did. Dun, 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 dun. It's probably on Gene. Right here.
No doubt. It's crazy new shit.
Alright, the first dude's name is Blockas, I think. Yeah. And he's about to go, and he's gonna rap. And then Jean Grey does what Jean Grey always does. And this is like what I would like to see more out of from you on the song. And we'll talk about in ways that you can do that in a little bit. It probably has to do with using 2 voices more often.
New shit, you know? Style Black Death. Jean Grey. Blackistan. I beat the arm like a arm head, I'm divine. And crush the whole galaxy with only one rhyme. Probably stick 4 niggas up with 1 9. Give me the loop, but you can stay with the shine. Fake niggas non-violent like Martin and Gandhi. Hating niggas thirsty like the Mojave. I hate it when a nigga make light of my hobby and get stripped naked in the Crookville lobby. You ain't a shooter like Wahlberg. Probably get the party like DiCaprio. Hit with the shrapnel. From live grenades, you marching in gay parades. Stop the charades, this is real shit here. Blackistan, Jean Grey, about to make shit clear. Check the rap sheet, I've been doing this for years. Get kicked in your ass, get the fuck out of here. Yo, that's my book, I say the fuck out of there. Like a
Alright, so DJ's about to go.
I should be ahead of the game. Past spit flame rhymes, past two fame time, so I claim mine. Tame mine is ready to bust, steadily cuss you like a Tourette stutter. Motherfucker, none of you want it. I'm pumping your stomach. I'm hungry, I need it, you wasted. I'm creeping so close that I can finally taste it. It's foul like foul, an hour, 1 mile for the final destination. God bless me, the child, and all the trials and tribulations compiled to make me. I'm still faceless, but they'll all see. Number 3 on the wait list. Flow is weightless, and I show his race with an impeccable sense of hatred. Smile sinister, round regular, never get it. I administer punishment like the bad lieutenant. I'm Flojo with a bad knee. I'll go slow, set with guns blow. I'm joining Cursey. I know y'all enjoy it. The curse at first. Listen to change your positions by the start of verse 3. Give it. Screw till it hurts, but remove your distaste before I prove your waist jerks the other way from face first. Pray till God stops answering, but you may not get off your knees, so he himself puts a hand on them. I pen an anthem to see it. Get up and stand for them. Up your grands and pennies, I got plans for them. Do a handstand on your bandstand, right in your show, man. Kick a speaker left stage in the front row. Run slow, even in gun smoke. My lungs took enough shit to make a fireman think he gon' choke. Done woke yet? I shine like the sun, but don't set. So bright, still not in my prime yet. I'll cut off your privates, get blood on your eyelids. Red splash so high, then it rains on you violent. Try it.
I mean, by this point, you forgot that there was another verse on the song. Like, it doesn't even matter. So, like, I don't know if you can hear the words, but just to pull out some of her best lines.
Don't set, so right, still not in my prime yet. I'll cut off your privates.
Still right, still not in my prime yet. Yeah. Cut off your privates, get blood on your eyelids, red splash so high, then it rains on you violent. Try and test it, get divided with pliers. I'm restless. I got you on a death with checklist like Uma Thurman. I'll bruise and hurt them. Insert your crew here, jerk, red dot murderer. I am not certain. I can't stop serving them. I mean, she just goes and goes, and by that point, you're like, why would you only rap at that point, you know? I mean, she's got lines like, steadily cuts you like a Tourette stutter, motherfucker, none of you want it, you know? So it's just like, she's on such another level, and knowing what you can do, that's kind of what I'm talking about. So it's like, almost what makes you so good, just kind of raises the bar a little bit. So like, this is what I'm thinking, you know? If these rappers make you forget about other people, where's my, my fucking Waka Flocka. Okay, so your beat's a little, the one that you have with your cousin is a little, like, trap-ish right now, right? A little trap. You know, real generally, like, it's got the double beat flow, the lots of hi-hats. So let me play you a super dirty trap beat right now. Hold on, let me, jack up my, song volume. I mean, Andre 3000 does that, too. Not really with Big Boy, but when he does his featured verses. Sorry, hold on.
Yeah, Andre 3000's a different human.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly, and like that's like the feeling I get when I listen to your shit. So then it's kind of like, yeah, man, you could take home dollars writing rap. But at the end of the day, I'm like, dude, I know what that dude can do, so I want to hear what he thinks of trap. That's what I'm saying. It's like, right now, I'm kind of getting... What I hear on the song now is what you think other people think rap is. But what I really want to hear is, like, what you think rap is. So let me do, like, a thought experiment real quick. Can you hear that? You can hear that, right? Do you listen to shit like that or not really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to a lot.
Did you, dude? I would pay money to hear what you would do over that beat, man. I really would. I mean, cause just like, you gotta be kidding me. Harry Adokwa on a trap beat, the dude who paid me $50 to mix a acoustic guitar singer-songwriter kind of thing, can now do trap. Can do trap. I would definitely pay money for that, man. And it's like, this is what I want to hear. Like, I don't want to hear what other people think trap is. I want to hear what you think is trap. So, like, let me play you Waka's rap on this beat, and then I think it's YG, his rap on the beat, and I'll show you the same thing, and then we'll go back to talking about your song. I mean, so he's just rapping, bro, which, like, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, I know that there are other people who are better, so he's like, whatever, like right here. Yeah, I won't scream, but I have no fear. You know, it's just like he's just rhyming, and that's all. But now, like, YG, at the end of it, it works because Waka Flocka comes on earlier in the song, and it sets up YG's rhythms. But, like, this is actually YG's fucking personality. This is probably the greatest verse on the entire album.
My speaker sounds like a Mac 90 getting off. It's a jungle out here, but I'm a warrior. My baby mama say I love the streets more than her own. Niggas like the 10 men, you ain't got no heart. I get down with 10 men, nigga, I got heart. Pull up to the gas station on the hunt.
You hear that? So it's
That's YG?
No, yeah, I think he said P Smurf. Let me check real quick. Karma, Rap Genius, lyrics, Waka Flocka. Yeah, I don't know. I think YG, he might do the verse on another one of my favorite songs from that. Brick Squad. Young Money, Brick Squad. Yeah, Papa Smurf. Yeah, so, like, that's what I'm saying, you know? So it's like, let's go back to your song now. I robbed so many goods. So that's you, right?
Yeah, I'm taking that out though. I don't like that. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So, this is the part I'm talking about then, that I think you gotta inject, like, with a little something more. You know, and usually when I talk to you, it's not about your specific lines. It's about, like, the delivery or the song structure or whatever. So I'm not worried about, like, the poetry of it, what you're saying, because I know it's always going to be good. So, like, so I don't think it is a problem for you to rewrite some of that. But, like, I don't hear Harry Adokwa, is what I'm saying, I guess. You know, like, I hear what other people think of rap. So, like, when you give me the two of you, you know, at the end... then it's like, that's perfect. That's perfect, you know? So I think, I'm just gonna call that the hook. So, like, I think you need to bring in that energy, that kind of creativity into the verse, though. You know, and there are lots of things you could do. So we could talk about those now if you wanted. But yeah, so what do you think?
I'm thinking about my delivery of the verse.
Yeah.
But I can see what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like, it might come down to delivery. I'm not saying that it's like, you have to have two voices during the verse, because then that kind of undercuts the payoff on the hook or whatever, right? But it's just like, right now, it's like, I don't, you know, you pussy bitch, you'll never lay me down. That's the line from Devil's Lullaby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't hear that in it. I don't hear the fucking, you pussy bitch will never lay me down in it. Which is fine if you want to take it another direction, but, like, that's not the beat, is kind of what I'm saying. You know, so it's just that I know, sort of, like, what you're capable of, so then why would I want to hear you make a song? You know, it's like, people do this all the time. You know, why would you want to make a song that I've heard before? It's kind of my thing. So and I did have a note, actually, about your delivery. Because, yeah, I don't know, let's just say you decide to up your energy in the delivery a lot. That might be a good idea, because right now I'm a little confused by the song structure. You know, before we were talking about how the guitar chords on Satan's Lullaby, excuse me, how those were not always in the same place, so the listener gets lost. Well, now it comes back to the dramatic structure based on your delivery, because it kind of just seems like the song keeps going and going and going. And it sounds good right now because what we're hearing at each moment is awesome. You know, the different sounds, the sounds played backwards, the hi-hat, the string, your voice. But it's like, I need to know in the song where we are. Like, I need to know when we come back. And so maybe varying your delivery more would do that. But, yeah, I really think the part where you have two voices, I would not cut that. And I would even think about cutting that point where you say, don't be afraid. Because these are the really interesting things that I want to hear. So it's not that what you've done is bad. It's just that what you've done is what other people have done. You know, like you need to me, you need to take up like more of the musical space. Maybe be more daring, I guess, is the basic takeaway. And what else? Right now, they don't know you could do the same music cover. You gotta match. Oh, this is something I wrote down. You gotta match the out there-ness of the beat. So, like, the beat kind of dares you to do something, right? And I just think you gotta do the same thing, kind of match its energy. So I would experiment with some different stuff. And, like, there are lots of stuff you could do. So you could do a take where you do have two of your voices. And I'm trying to think if there's a rap song where the rapper really clearly, you know, not just doublings, but stuff where there are actually two of them and they're rapping back and forth. It's almost like, okay. So something that's maybe lost in all of the ink spilled about Eminem is that, you know, he's got his three different characters. Slim Shady, Marshall Mathers, and Eminem, right? So what you could do now is, like, in order to maybe do this, is to have two of you rapping. And Eminem does this by taking on different characters. So, like, an easy comparison is his Slim Shady character and his Eminem delivery, let's call them deliveries. And so the Eminem delivery is a little more bassy, right? His voice is lower. And the Slim Shady character is a little higher, a little more nasally. So you can hear it when he gets on the track, though, even when he's not talking at the same time. So like Evil Twin from his Marshall Mathers LP2 album.
Swearing from the first album, even the gals were like nightmarish, treat me nice, but my fucking mouth was nightmarish. And from the start.
So that's Eminem. That's his Eminem character. And he switches to his Slim Shady character at some point.
It felt like you were part of this, and opposition felt the opposite. Sometimes I listen and revisit them old albums often as I can and skim through all them bitches to make sure I keep up with my competition. Hogger of beats, hoarder of rhymes, borderline genius who's bored of his lines, and that sort of defines where I'm at. And the way I feel now, feel like I might just strike first, but ignore the replies. Darkness closing back to the land of the living. Fucking with either in the death. Get them titties cut off, try to mess with a clean. Golly Wally, I beat heat, register Jesus. Ever since 19946 dressing, it was death.
But you can hear how his voice is more, like, higher. So again, like, I'm not asking you to always have two voices, but it does sound like you just need, like, something extra to go the last mile or the last inch, whatever the fucking saying is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
Now I'm thinking of, like, filling, because that's what I did for the second part that you like or whatnot.
Yeah.
In the middle of wherever gaps I have to respond, being Joy responding to me, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And again, like, I know you kind of work on a higher level from this. So I'm not saying you should do this, but it is something where, like, one of you is Joy and, like, you talk to him and you change your delivery. And then even that would kind of kill two birds with one stone, right? Because it would be more creative, like I'm talking about, but it would also make clearer the relationship between you and Joy. You know, which is what I was saying kind of wasn't quite coming to the forefront. So even just to give you a real quick example of it, and again, it's a little more played out than what you would go for, but it's like,
hello, everybody. Not the half of the tip.
not that.
Is it molasses? Star on the rise in the eyes of the masses. Black is the color of my true.
You got that good hair, too.
Maybe
Like
it's not
what?
there. Damn it.
I like girls with that light complexion.
Philip Quality. Oh, wait. It's one of the first fucking ones.
We feel darkness under here. Black girl stare.
Hello.
Fresh the way. Everyone on top, give them his goes home.
Damn it.
You got that good.
Public Quality. Here's a little story that must be told. Sorry, I gotta Google the lyrics to find the source for
That's
it.
good. I'm trying to work it in my head right now.
Yeah, what? Just thinking about it?
Yeah, think about some things to plug in or how I would.
Yeah. Alright, here.
King Sean J. Rocksteady to me. Most definitely. 98, we on the scene. We the ultimate. Pride and joy, name.
Alright, so this is Talib Kweli and Mos Def song, and they go back and forth.
There's two bad brothers who never quit. Most Def. Why me? We the ultimate. Make sure that you tell everybody you know.
You know, so they're going back and forth. So again, I'm not saying that you do that, but that's like a really general outline for what I'm going for. You know?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what I would have to say to that. And again, it might, like, I am asking you to rewrite. If I were you, I'm saying that I would rewrite some of the song, but I really don't think it would be that much. Like, I'm just looking for, like, that fucking Harry Adokwa special sauce. You know, like this shit that makes you, you. Because honestly, when I started hearing the beat, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be amazing. And it was good, but it wasn't, I didn't hear Harry in it. You know, like I didn't hear the fucking crazy chords. I didn't hear the rap Bob Dylan. What else? Even like the song I heard from you last time, you know, where you have all those different themes and then you kind of wrap them up in the end. It's more like you just got on and started going, you know? So, yeah, so what are you thinking of? Are you having any specific ideas we could work with now?
Not really, just trying to fill in. I was thinking about, like...
Bro, yeah, I mean, yo, you could do 3 voices on the verse. You know, you could do 2 of you, but like one, but you share the melody, like Mos Def and Talib Kweli do. So yeah, there are those like almost hype men rappers who like jump into the beat to like punctuate and exclaim at the end of lines. But you could also do something like where you two share it. You could do something where one of you is singing and one of you is rapping, and it wouldn't even matter because you both know. I don't know. I would imagine that Joy sings instead of raps. So like you could always rap and Joy could always sing. But like this is kind of like the out of the box thinking that I'm looking for. You know? Yeah, so that's all. I'm sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying?
No, that's pretty much just what I was thinking is what I would say and what would be said and how it would be said, like how Joy would even sound, stuff like that.
Yeah, but like this is what we got to get into. So honestly, like I know it might seem weird to some people to sit there and think about, well, what would Joy sound like? You know, but like that's really kind of where you got to get when you're at your level, I guess, right? It's like you almost have to do research into this kind of shit. I mean, I was doing that stuff. I'm making this song where there are just 5 instances. Actually, it's kind of funny that you played me this song because I'm making something, not where there are 2 of me, but there are 5 of me. And so I'm doing, I'm holding down the beat. I'm not beatboxing, but I'm making, 2 of me are doing the beat. One is the hype man, one's the rapper, one's the wild card, and another is the hype man. Yeah. And so, like, I had to do all this fucking research to realize, and it was blowing my mind. Like, you can't, so I'm trying to create this beatbox thing, right? But not by going like, because I can't fucking beatbox, obviously. But I had to find words to do it. So it's words to beatbox with. So I had to stand there and be like, back, forth, back, forth. And so that's better than just like anything, you know, but then I had to be like, what did I come up with? I was like, book, forth, forth. Obviously, it's not a word, but that still wasn't there. But then, and this took me the course of hours of recording it and then listening to it. And then eventually I got to book, dot. Because that's perfect, because the book blends into the background and it lets the normal rappers' rhythms come through. So like when you are kind of at that level, you know, you do have to sit down and think about this different stuff. It's just like, I know, yeah, that's all. Yeah, I'm just repeating myself now. But like that's like, I'm looking kind of for the next level of stuff to hear from you. You know, because it's like, yeah, Kendrick did what other people did, but that was Section 80, and then he moved on to other stuff. You know, he did GKMC, and now he's got crazy fucking voice modulations. I mean, dude, okay, yo, let's listen to Deep Water real quick. Is there another song you wanted to talk about, or do you have time for this? All right, yeah. Okay, do you know Deep Water? It was on the new Compton album.
No, I didn't really dig into the Compton album. I probably heard it, but...
Yeah, it was a little much. I mean, I know that I loved it because I'm always going to ride for Dre. But, like, this is Deep Water, and I would... Yeah, let me skip that out. Alright, I want us to hear the whole song. Again, to compare what comes before to what Kendrick fucking does.
What is going on in Compton? I don't understand it. Well, as it relates to this is not my view as the clerk. So anything that relates to this, you probably have to get answered from Dr. Dre.
You talking about respect, I gave you niggas the utmost. All you niggas the utmost. We turn over Picasso, so then tell them about his brush strokes. Them opinions, I don't trust those. Apologize, the city made a nigga so cutthroat. Every hood love me, but it's guarded on one coast. I'm in 86, but I knew that you would want more. I'm on the throne in a place some niggas won't go. Don't get it fucked up. And away from home, and away from all day long. They put it on me. We wrong. We feel nigga. This is about where I'm from. I think it's time to take niggas to the deep water. He's down in the Pacific. Sharks that nigga down in the deep water. Listen. All you niggas swimming in the air flow. Don't fuck around and drown in the specifics. Always going overboard. Used to be my kids' fault. Niggas sleeping with the motherfucking dishes. These niggas won't let up until they all wake up. Well, I'm getting fucked up. Nigga, everybody on the kids are trying to read that prescription. Yeah. That's my nigga. Watercolors couldn't even break the picture. They don't get the picture. Fuck it. Drugs matter doesn't. I just wanna go and check the chills. You might just wanna check the chills. I'm the one that got the ear. For many years I've been making parents live in fear. I just wanna make it clear. My influence run deep like the ocean. Don't get it fucked up. And away from home. And away from all day long. They put it on me. We wrong. We feel nigga.
Feels like you're drowning, don't you? About 100 miles down, and it's over. Should've never jumped in if you can't swim. Oh my God, wasn't like God when you need water. Motherfucking North Star from the bottle. Like a baby bottle, mixing that with some like my mama knew I had a problem. Wasn't thinking about no rapper, now we're looking for a dollar. Put it quarter pieces in the black of piece and make it holla. Don't believe in me, I got the beast in me, I got the holla. Jesus, see you making TNT, my product. I'm a CEO, MPTO, in a better energizer in the city. When it flies to that bitch, don't know about it. I don't give a fuck about your people. All I care about is wearing out your area. Everybody wanna get you walking at your parents' house. Don't get fucked up. Got fucked up, trying to fuck it to it. What's that? Knowing what's what, or who's who. Living in an elegant zoo. Pick 'em off like a big dog, motherfucker. Once upon a time, I shot a nigga on accident. I tried to kill him, but I guess I needed more practicing. That's when I realized begging money for everybody. Switch it up before my enemy or the sheriff got me. They liable to bury him. They nominated 6 to carry him. They worry him to death, but he no vegetarian. The beef is on his breath and arrogant. The drama better than a great white nigga. This is life in my aquarium. Don't get it fucked up.
So that's what I mean. By the end of Kendrick's verse, you've literally forgotten that there are other rappers on it, right? Like, his verse is just so much more daring. He has about, like, 3 different mixings. One where he's panning back and forth, one where it's normal, and then one where he has a really heavy gain filter on him. He uses, like, tons of sound effects where he's imitating a gun. He just yells at one fucking point. And, like, this is what I mean. Like, Kendrick, when he sees the whole verse, he can do almost, like, a lot of, like, musical calculations that other people just can't even imagine. Like, he can see the verse in its finished form before it even comes out of his mouth. You know, so he's like, yes, I know that I couldn't just normally yell, but if I get Dr. Dre to change all the mixings, well, then it will carry it, and people will be even more blown away, because not only have I shot really high, aimed really high, but I fucking nailed the target, too. You know, so it's like, Busta Rhymes is like that, too. Like, when they imagine their rap they can imagine everything. They can imagine how they hear it, how their producer hears it, how the listener hears it, the mixing of it, the voice modulation of it, the rhythms, the beat behind it, like all of this different stuff. And this is kind of what I would want you to do, you know? So maybe the best thing might be to just go back and to listen to the beat with your part removed, right? Just an instrumental, and kind of forget what you've already done on it. And then just listen to it and see what you hear might be the best thing. You know, because, I mean, you could even do, who fucking does that? Like, you could even do, like, almost like an ODB approach, where, like, you're singing and rapping, but going back and forth between them really quickly. Because, like, Drake sings a lot, right? And he has his songs where he sings, and he has his songs where he raps, but he usually, a lot of times he keeps them separate. And, like, Chance has the songs where he sings during the chorus, or during the hook, and then he raps during the verse, right? But ODB has this stuff where, like, he's just all over the place, where, like, he's singing, he's rapping, he's beatboxing, all this different stuff. And so that kind of more daringness, I mean, I really think that might be able to work for you too, you know, where you're just doing everything. And then maybe at the end, Joy, you divide it out. So that before, where you were the only one singing and rapping, but going back and forth between them at the end, maybe at the end you reveal that it was Joy in you all along, and Joy is singing you and you're rapping, you know? Yeah, so what do you think? Do you have any other ideas?
No, but it made me think of like all the beatings behind my verse, you know?
Yeah.
Tailoring that, as well as adding to it, but just go ahead and start there as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of, tailor it to my verse.
You mean the verse you already have, or do you mean the music behind you?
The music behind me on the verse I already have.
Okay, so tailoring it to the verse you already have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just one of you.
Yeah, let me listen to it again. Then. Yeah, like that. Like right there. See, because, like, this is where the fact that I know you as a person comes into play, too, right? And, like, your songs, right? Like, you strike me as someone who has a lot of shit to say. Like, Drake doesn't have anything to say, man. He really doesn't feel... I don't know if he feels like that drive to be heard or for people to know what he thinks, you know? But, like, you're not like that. So that's why, like, when I hear this song, I'm almost, like, confused. So, like, at all those pauses, you really could just, like, jump in with a bit here, a bit there, but it's just like I kind of need that next level stuff.
I'm past that. You call me pastor now. Oh, I've been a bad motherfucker. I woke up in the hospital.
Yeah, like it strikes me that almost like hearing just one of you is not enough.
Yeah, honestly, now that like I'm hearing it,
yeah,
I kind of what can go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, okay, maybe that is the best way then. Just listen to the verses you already have now. Because obviously, like I've been saying, it is good. I just know how good you can be. So you got to take it to the next level. But yeah, I mean, what else? Like, let me play it again. Let me keep playing it. I mean, even like, it's simple stuff, right? This is what I'm trying to say. I'm not asking you to like be super fucking meta or to like blow up the box like I like to do until people almost don't fucking get what I'm going for, right?
No, I understand what to do like that.
Yeah.
I suck, man. That was you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Calling me on my shit. Like, hey, that was you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I kind of
okay, sweet.
like more angrier. Both of us kind of getting frustrated with each other.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. No, yeah, that's it. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff to do. You know, it's just like, imagine that someone came to you and was like, okay, you have to write a verse where there are two of you. What would you do? It's kind of the question, right? And you can even get them to double each other, like Lauryn Hill likes to do. Because that would be really fucking sweet. No one's even caught up with that 20 years later after the Fugees. So, like, stuff like this, like how many mics? What's that?
This is my shit, man.
Yeah.
Pick up.
Get mad frustrated when I rhyme. Thinking of all them kids that try to do
Yeah,
this
there
for
we
all
go.
the wrong reasons. Seasons change, mad things rearrange, but it all stays the same. Like the love Doctor Strange, I'm tame like the rapper.
Yeah, so do you hear that right there?
Yeah.
She's rapping normally, right? But she
Yeah.
doubles her voice with singing on Strange and Rapper. She's like, I'm strange like the rapper. But at the
Yeah.
same time, she's like, strange rapper. You know,
Yeah.
so like this is what, but like you're hearing Lauryn on this, right? Like this is fucking Lauryn Hill, man. You know what I've always been amazed by is everything that I talk about, all my articles, like books I write, podcasts, lessons I do with you, they all come from the music. I don't like I know Kanye West's life story not because I read a book of his biography or whatever. I know his life story because I've heard his fucking music. Because Kanye put who he is into his music. So I know he's from Chicago. I know that his fucking grandpa was in the Black Panther Party. I know his mom got, as a 6-year-old, got like torn off sit-ins against segregation in the South and stuff like that.
Red like a snapper when they do that. Got your whole block saying true that. If only they knew that. It was you who was irregular. Sold your soul for some secular music that's whack.
So she's not even talking about it, but I know that Lauryn Hill thinks she's such a good rapper that for her to rap, like, is almost a fucking waste of time, man. Like, she's so far behind the beat. She's so good. She's singing. She's rapping. Her poetry is perfect. Like, I know at a certain point, even though she's not talking about it, that Lauryn Hill thinks she is a rapping goddess. And she's right. Like, she's absolutely right. So, like, that is that kind of, like, personality I want you to inject into it. Is to almost be, like, fucking obnoxious about it. To be like, I'm this good. I don't fucking care what you think about trap music. But this is what trap music should be. You know, that kind of element to it. And I know you can get down with that, man. I know you can, because I know you're super fucking creative. So yeah, so it's just like, bro, and you said you've heard a lot of that music, right? Trap music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it's just like, well, what was always missing in trap music? You know, what do you want to add? Because you got to have something to say. And I know you do, but I mean musically something to say, right? It's like, oh, fucking triplets are tired, so you make fun of triplets. Or like, oh, if I was making a beat, I've always been amazed that trap beats can sound so dirty and so awesome, but their chords are all like the same. They're just like fucking minor chords. So I would throw like diminished chords and super crazy shit like that. Like the chords you almost had from Satan's Lullaby. So yeah, that's what I would fucking go for. And then even like for my money, the beat, and yeah, it does depend on where you want to take the song. No, what you want to do with the song. Because if you wanted to make it a song like it is now, like it's only 5 minutes, then you've done really good with that, with the music structure in general, right? So this is back to the more general feedback. But it's like if but it's like if you wanted to make like the Roots symphony, you know, like they've got this song, The Melting Pot / The Seed / Medley, which is like 16 minutes long. It's all divided up by instrumental solos. If you wanted to make it like that, you could, but then you would need to spin out each beat. But actually what I do like about the song right now is that it's almost like what Lauryn Hill did. Like she has these fucking great ideas, and then she's just like, well, yeah, that was so awesome, but honestly, I have amazing ideas like this every 5 minutes, so I don't fucking need to turn it into its own song. Like that's what those beats are, you know, at the beginning or the end. I'm not left thinking like, oh, you could do this. You could take like the backwards beat. I'm just gonna real quick nickname it and like make that its own song. Cause Pharoah Monch has this song called Trilogy where he does that, where it's 9 minutes long and it's basically 3 beats back to back to back. Or you could kind of do the thing that you did now, where you're just like, I have amazing ideas all day. But then it's like I would like to see more interplay between the beat. That's why I asked if you we're gonna add rap to the outro. Because right now, like, that outro beat has no relation to your rap. And it might not, but, like, then you have to find a way to make it fit. Like, I'm not saying that you have to rap over it, but maybe you bring back the backwards beat in the middle, too. Like, and that's an interlude where even, like, you're talking and you make the story between you and Joy more apparent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know. That's what I got. Do you have anything?
I'm just thinking structure-wise now.
Yeah.
Because I definitely don't want to, like,
spin it
long
out.
piece. Like around 5 minute area
It's
is
good.
just cool. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
all about like me falling into a place and then getting out of that place. You know, it's not something to like dwell on. Long.
Yeah. And I feel that. And I do think it makes it stronger to pick up these beats and throw it away. Because that's what Kanye did all over The Life of Pablo, right? Like, listen to how amazing, like, this beat is. Do you know Life of Pablo?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Miss you bad, so I ain't call you back. Same problem my father had.
But that's an awesome beat, but the song's only 2 minutes long, you know? Kanye was like, whatever. Like, I'm tired of making songs. You already know I can make amazing beats. I made Jesus Walks. I made Monster. I made fucking The Glory. You know, so then it's just like, if he throws it away, that's almost a stronger statement. So you said, okay, so it's the place, how'd you put it? Like, you want to go to a place, but then get out of it?
It's like you fall into a place.
Yeah.
And you get out of it. And sometimes you get out of it but you're not out of it. And sometimes you get out of it and you are out of it. You know, it's kind of
Yeah. And
weird.
is there a specific moment on the song on which that happens, or
that moment right there is just like
at the end?
no. So it's in the middle. So it goes like first verse and then to like mid bridge and then to like I guess you could say chorus area comes and then another mini bridge, which is that rapping you were talking about.
Okay, so what's the part you're talking about? Like, can you give me a timestamp?
Let me see.
Here?
So at 2:28.
Yeah, okay. Let me listen to it real quick. Yeah.
Motherfucker,
Yeah.
it's always something, motherfucker. It's always me, motherfucker. It's always me, motherfucker. I kept my distance. I served my sentence. I was in church like a hoe. I was letting shit go. I was rarely getting blowed. I was chilling on these hoes. Why? Do you not let go? Do you not let time? Do you not like life?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, at that point, because that was one of the parts that I really liked, and I don't think you need to change that much. So now when you go back and redo it, it's like just keep in mind the fact that you're building towards that part. Because I knew it was great when I got there, but I didn't know that I was going to get there. And if you made it lead better to that, then that already great part at 2:28 will turn out even better. And it might even, yeah.
What does that mean? Like when you say make sure to let you know we're gonna get there. Like how would I do that?
Well, it's like, it comes down to musical structure, right? So here. Let me listen to this song, to that part again.
Motherfucker, it's always something, motherfucker. It's always me, motherfucker. It's always me, motherfucker. I kept my distance. I served myself, motherfucker. Motherfucker, it's always something, motherfucker. It's always me, motherfucker. It's always me, motherfucker. I kept my distance. I served my sentence. I was in church like a hoe. I was letting shit go. I was rarely getting blowed. I was chilling on these hoes.
It's like, it feels unprepared. You know, like, you have a lot of musical material in that section, which is really good, but it catches us by surprise. And I'll get to the musical structure part in a second. But, like, it's a testament to your songwriting abilities that it still comes off as strongly as it does, right? So, like, motherfucker, right? You say that over and over, but it's like, it kind of comes out of nowhere. Like, I just didn't realize that we were going to get to that place. And so it's like, it's simple stuff, right? It's like you make a theme out of motherfucker earlier in the song. Like, it's the first word you say. You draw a contrast with that part. Like, I can't tell you specifically what to do because then I would make the song, you know? But it's like, you have to get there. So just right now, like, it's a lot of space. So one of the most obvious things to do is to just draw a contrast, right?
I served myself.
So there's a lot of blank musical space there, right? Like spaces in between your words, your pauses, even your voice is not taking up that much room, you know, because when you sing, like, it becomes a little thinner, not actually, like, metaphorically, but, like, you need to lead, but we've already had so much musical space, right? This is what I'm saying.
Check my distance. I serve my sentence. Another nightmare. Trying to find out. Still haven't found out. I've been ducking. Still haven't calmed down. I've been ducking.
But there's a lot of space here.
You see me poised.
Yeah,
If only you
those are fuck ups. It's supposed to go that way the whole way. Just motherfuck. Wait, it goes. Woke up at the JW house, still trying to find out, still haven't found out, motherfucker, I still need to calm down, I still haven't calmed down, I've been ducking, I still haven't bowed down, you see me poised, if only you could hear the noise.
Yeah, and that's at the earlier part or in the middle?
That's at the earlier part.
Okay. That's better then, because honestly, like, the structure is really complex, so I need to keep it in mind. But it's like, look, I use this metaphor when I was teaching someone else, right? But it's like, in music when you're working, and again, I'm going to work my way outside in. It's like, in music, it's always a trade-off, right? You can't do whatever you want in music because it's just not possible. You can't make music as interesting as possible, then it's just fucking noise, and you don't know what's going on. Like this is what, someone who tried to make it as interesting as possible is like the Beatles' Revolution 9. No, is it called Revolution 9? Yeah. So this is Revolution 9.
Number 9.
So it's just like, moment to moment, it's extremely interesting, right? But people don't like to listen to that music. So what I'm telling you is you have to, like, build to the climax, right? So I know, just because I've heard a lot of music and studied it a lot, that when you get to this beat drop at 228, we need more. We need more notes filling up the space, because the beat dropped out, but the beat is slower than what's come before. So, like, you need to set up a counterpoint to that so that your voice is more interesting. And that's, like, just how music works, right? It's like, music is defined by two things, right? It's occurs over time, and it's sonic. It's made out of sound. Because, like, paintings, you don't need time to appreciate a painting, right? You just look at a painting, and then it's instantaneous. You see the whole painting. Or, like, ballet is visual, but you still need time, right? You have to see them dancing. If you just saw a picture of a ballet dancer dancing a ballet, it would be incomplete because you need to see the whole routine or whatever, right? Music is like a little bit of both of these. So you need to realize that you're always setting up, like, the payoff, the money shot. And I can show you how this works, because it's like, let's do Talib. Like, let's do a Talib Kweli verse, right? But it was with Mos Def. Alright, so it's like, this is, and then I'll apply it to your song. But it's like, okay, so this is how I imagine it working. This is what I mean when it's a trade-off. Like, Talib Kweli goes to music, like music as a person, just imagine her, like you're imagining Joy. And Kweli goes to music and he's like, music, I'm Talib Kweli, I want to make a fucking song. And music's like, okay, Talib, what do you want to do? And Talib's like, well, I want to rap. And music's like, okay, well, how are you going to make it different? And Talib's like, well, I'm going to make the beats, I'm going to make my rhythms really, 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 really fucking complex. And music's like, okay, that's cool, but then that means that there are some things you have to keep simple so that people can understand you. And Talib Kweli's like, oh, fucking fine, what do I have to keep simple? And music is like, well, you have to keep the drum beat simple, because if you have a complex melody, a complex rhythm over a complex drum beat, then listeners' ears are going to start to get lost, like I just played you in Revolution 9, and people won't like to listen to you. And Kweli's like, okay, fine, so I'll make complex rhythms and keep the beat simple. Do we have a deal? And music's like, yeah. And then this is what you get.
house. And run, dude, that's like sensation. Premature ejaculations get slim like white disease, Jackson and gerbils. Words were quality, high tech, reflection eternal. Hostile highlights like fonts when I burn heads like a cock. Cause niggas front when they chances get slim like Pharaoh Monch. Thinking they shit's just heavy when they light like illumination. Intellectual masturbation with premature ejaculation. I'm coming clean to vaccinations. My fascination with character assassination got these niggas burning like sensation. There's no mystery but like Hogan's. Wiping your skin as you picking the wrong time. Stepping to me, the boy and niggas anonymous. Your dreams see through the fake schemes. The boy and niggas anonymous. Depressing the optimist. You stopping us preposterous like an androgynous misogynist. You picking the wrong time. Stepping to me when I'm in my prime like optimist.
So like that's a perfect example, right? The beat is just boom, tin, boom, tin, boom, tin. You know, bass kick and drums. And then and it's kept simple so that Quality's rhythms can shine. Like, you stopping us as preposterous like an androgynous misogynist. You picking the wrong time. Stopping to me when I'm prime like Optimus transforming. Right? And so it's like you need to bring this kind of trade-off in music between the complex and the simple more to the forefront in that beat drop. Right? Because the beat falls out. It slows down. It creates space. But the problem right now is that you're not filling in that space with like a crazy amount of rhythms or anything like that. Like we need more there. We need more notes, maybe yelling, more vocalizing, more rhymes and stuff like that. Because like that's what you've set us up for. You know, in the same way that Quali set himself up to use complex rhythms, you've kind of set us up now to have this sort of moment like of catharsis where you just go crazy. Because before you had this quicker beat, it was more set up, but it was introduced by this unrelated beat. So when you get to this new beat, like that's like the payoff moment. And then yes, and then that's what brings you out of that hole almost. Is this helping at all?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay, because this is a good moment. So like if I could, and I'm playing you this now not because it's the best song ever, but because I know it's a really good example of it. But like I played you listened to that Staying Fat song, right? The one where I just go crazy yelling. Alright, yeah. So I want to play you this now because and you probably realized it, but so I play the whole song. So I sample an entire Block Party beat, right? My song is like I rap on it for 3.5 minutes, right? And I sample the entire Block Party beat without changing it at all. But the Block Party beat is only 2 minutes and 10 seconds about, or something like that. And then I play about half of the Block Party song again. So when we listen to it this time, I want you to ask yourself, what is different the second time? Ask yourself how fucking paradoxical it is. I'm playing the same beat twice. I'm playing the Block Party beat twice. But the first time I do something different from what I do the second time, but it works. But it works. That is paradoxical, and that is musical. It's counterintuitive, but I've led you there. I've led you there because I've already did what I did on the first beat, and I'll show you how, when I end the song, that really it's just it's a summary of what I did before, and I can point you out to this. So we're going to listen to it real quick. It only takes 3.5 minutes. And then I'm just playing you this because I know exactly how it works, since I'm the one who made it.
I'm a millionaire, I'm a young buck that just don't care about your car, money, got some books, search, got produce, I compose, it's not a death to book your flow, that's why I gotta write shit. You see what I did there? Well, now that that's done, listen there, like a midget and a flipper, nose, bitch, small TV, no everything, so see, jokes, so good at the voice, I'm split out for you. I depend on heavy teeth, and so, especially if this metal's on, then you walk with, fall, the camera, the rest on the rest of the demo. Bunch of them, focus, bunch of bitches, get their bottle for bars, this is still the low bar. Start engines, got ready, got ready, got ready. The guys got released and don't leave me going. I might just that. I might just that. Okay, I'm just that. Now from south to last one. Are we having fun? I said, are we having fun? Keep up, we keep this up. He's got like 3 minutes to go. And doesn't he have the air truck? Doesn't he have his friends? No call decline, no reply. Just like this that RNC last week. All they did was happy. I said it because I'm not even double dance. I pop you out to the bucket, you can fuck away. I'll see your fans baseball around, but such big hits. I get more. Not again. Because sports and no shenanigans. Perfect. What's your method? Didn't be manual. Now I'm ready. Don't be ready. Pass that current. Beat me on beat like a whirling dervish. Twist turn the swirls while all in her. Damn it. Yeah, my bad, Coach Bar. My bad. I know. Yeah, short words, fast bars. Yeah. And plays. Already? No, no, yeah, okay, okay. 1, 2, 3, break. In the booth, I just dance. I don't fucking rap. Must be the cha-cha. Since when I'm done, we all clap. In the hall, it's dance. In the club, it's I did what? Crap. Well, hardy hard. Got rap tracks. Bum, 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 bum. It's been 14 years. Let me just say this. If I didn't have your picture, listen to that other shitty fucking music again, I will fucking find you and burn your house the fuck down. My only goal here is the hard truth every time you even think of music. So you know what? Turn this shit off right fucking now. If you don't watch your goddamn mind flow, do not ignore me. Because this is what happens. You know what? Why don't you just get down on your motherfucking knees and suck my goddamn progress, congress, egress, regress, weekend. Your sets, cassettes, and shred their threads, widgets. Man, I'll bring the beat back from the dead just to kill it again. Oh, fuck. Damn it. No, yeah. Brought the beat back from the dead just to kill it. Say what, stupid thing to say, man. I'm a millionaire, I'm a young fuck, and I still don't care about your car. House, jewels, gas, self-produced, not the fuck, economic sense, or fuck your flow, I don't write shit. You know what doing here? Well, now that that's done, let's get down like a bit. Now that that's done, shit, let's have some fucking fun. Baba, rain, Indian, populist, trolling, Puerto Rican, things that have been selling doors, like the rich and beat, says medallion. Once upon a time, dust bowl quick, one moment, please, heaven I give you a break, flip with E-I-O, Adam, Sarah, brown hair, cut of hair, Barnett, Sumness, pedophile, you got John Buzz, first loose, woo-woo, our father, our voodoo, up and try and get this is level regalia today in the bar. No, fuck it, let it run, man.
So, this is the thing, right? I literally play you the same beat twice, right? But I do something different the second time, and it works. That's like the kind of mystery of music you gotta unpack, right? And it works. I mean, you can tell at the end, I'm literally just yelling stuff, right? It doesn't make any sense. You picked that up? Yeah. And the reason that works is because I prepared you for it. Because okay, so I play you the same beat twice, right? What is different the second time? Just the beat. What happens the second time you hear the beat? Even if you're not talking about my rap, what's different?
I couldn't really notice, to be honest. It sounded like it started over from the beginning.
It did. But that's the difference. The difference is you're hearing it twice. And this is the fucking paradox. It's like, that's literally the only thing that was different, and I turned it into that climax. Because it's like, you didn't hear it once. Or it's not that by the time you hear it, I mean, it's simple, but it's why people love music. It's because things are now different. Because the second time you heard it, the only difference is that you've heard it before. So now I need to do something different, right? And did you open that musical plan I sent you?
No.
Yeah, just open that real quick. I sent it to you in the thread. Yeah, just let me know when you're looking at it.
Hey, Mark, can you still see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Can you?
Yeah, I can see you too. My Microsoft Word is fucking tripping.
Okay, here. I can probably just send you a picture of it. The important part. Can you see that picture?
Yeah, pulling up. Ungathered. Hold on, just pulling up the second one now. Alright, yeah. What's up?
Okay, yeah. So look at the one that says unpatterned rhythm in the top left and patterned rhythm in the top right. Are you checking that out?
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't start out with this chart in front of me in order to make the music. But once I had written about a minute of it, I realized that this is what I was doing. So what you're looking at is there are 3 different like spectrums or continuums, right? And the first one is for rhythm, the second one is for speaking, and the third one is for how much like sense you're making. You know, when you're just yelling, you're not making any semantic sense. But then when I'm talking in sentences like this, it does make sense. So the first one is just like unpatterned. But the first one, so the basic plan for the song was to cover as much of these charts as possible. Right? So it's like unpatterned rhythm is just like, you know, whatever. It's like when you go about your day, normal, blah, 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 the jangling of keys, the running of water. That's not musical, right? It's just sound. But then all the way on the other side is patterned rhythm, which is like this. When music fits like that. Like in rap, it's like, what's Nas's line? I never sleep, because sleep is the cousin of death. You know, that's the other end of the spectrum. And then obviously all in between, there's different stuff. There's musical rubato. There's the micro-timing, complex rhythms like the Kwali we just looked at. Then the next one is speaking and singing. So singing, I'm not a good singer, but it's like, you know, like that. That's one end of the spectrum. And then speaking is what I'm just doing now. And then for semantic, we've already gone over it a little bit. But semantics is like a full semantic meaning is when you have like a noun and a verb and you're communicating information. And then nonsense is just random speaking. So about halfway, when I had the song halfway written, I realized that this was my plan. That I wanted to cover as much area of this as possible. So I start out in a normal rapping way, right? And that's a pattern rhythm because I'm abiding by this. I'm a millionaire, I'm a young, fuck it, I just don't care. Right? So that's the pattern rhythm. I'm speaking because I'm rapping. And I'm making semantic sense, you know? Like, the subject is I'm saying I'm not a millionaire and all that stuff. But then as the song goes along from that very first line, I start to cover more and more areas on this chart, right? So when I get to WizKid, shit so good I'm a WizKid. Let me spell it out for you. I depend on, having depends on. Especially if this pen is on, the N you what will end wrong. Like Emron or Exxon or M-songs with them bombs. That's the complex tuplet. And that's right in the middle at the top there. You see, because it's somewhere in between unpatterned rhythm and pattern rhythm. Enron or Exxon or M-songs with them bombs. And so I'm moving all over the chart. And then as you move on more, and like right here, about halfway through, I'm just speaking.
What? Well, let me just say this. If I have your picture, I'll see fucking music again, and I will fucking find you and burn your house the fuck down.
Like, I'm not rapping in time to the music, right? I'm just going. But I'm still making semantic sense, though, right? So I just keep covering more and more of this chart. So that by the end of the time I get to the climax, the listener will not be surprised to hear me just yelling random shit. Because I prepared them. Because I slowly moved farther and farther away from what you hear in terms of rapping normally. I start out rapping normally, and then I get slowly crazier and crazier until at the end I'm just doing whatever the fuck I want. So this is what I mean when it's like you had to prepare it. So this is, yeah, and then eventually
For like, let's get down like a man. Now that that's done, that's a fucking fun. Baba raining in Cockless, trolling Porto, raining stains, and cellar doors like a rich of feet, says the medallion. Once upon a time, John spoke quick. One moment, please, haven't I? Give me a break, flip to E-I-O. Adam's hair, crown hair, cut hair. Barnett, shoved his pedophile. You got John Buzz, bird, our father, our voodoo. I'm a dragon. Just love regalia today in the bar.
So it's like, I hinted at it all along. Even if people don't consciously realize that that's what musicians are doing, I still think they're good at picking up on it. You know? Like, imagine if, like, fucking, you know, he never would, but imagine if Jay-Z, like, called me and he was like, yo, man, can I get a rap verse? And I did that on a Jay-Z song. Or I did a Drake song where I did that. It would be awful. It wouldn't work. Because I hadn't prepared it. You know? I would have to temper it back. So this is like what I'm saying, essentially, when we get to your song now. Is like you have to understand kind of what the plan is. And not everything boils down to that really straightforward translation process for my own song, but it's still like this is how things kind of work. And I expect, basically in music, we expect things to change. And pulling off the specifics of that change is what it comes down to. So it's like you've got the right change.
Motherfucker, it's always something, motherfucker. It's always me, motherfucker. It's always me, motherfucker.
But it's like you need to now kind of like just slightly tweak things. So it's like if you go slow there, then what comes before has to be crazier. If you want to go crazier there at 228, then what comes before has to be slower because you drop the beat. So now we expect a change. You know? Is that helping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, because like I'm trying to get as specific as I can. But it's like at a certain point it's like, well, that's making art, you know, and then at that point someone else just makes the song. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. That's like probably the most specific I can get there. It's just like knowing kind of what the money shot is. It's like or Kanye West like Monster, right? Not Monster, All the Lights. So the only thing you're hearing there is a keyboard. And it's real simple, but the reason why Kanye is only giving you a keyboard is just so he can bring everything back in fucking 30 seconds. It's literally just so he can start the song again, because he knows how good All of the Lights is. Like, I swear to God, that song's plan, if it looked like it, was just, how many times can we play this fucking horn idea? Because it's awesome. Like, that's all they needed to do, you know? So now for you, it's like, how do I make 228 that moment? You know, I'm trying to find a good, like the hole or whatever. Let's just call it the hole because you get in and out of holes or whatever. It's like, everything now needs to point towards the hole, both going into it and out of it. And you've done it, the beat does it really well. And your lyrics are almost there. But now I would just, like, go all in poker terms, you know? Yeah, so.
What do you think about that bridge right before it? It's 3 running at a time, and it's 3 completely different bridges that I just put them all at one time.
Can you give me a timestamp right before it?
Sounds like joy. If only you can hear the noise. Sounds like joy.
See, I really like it. Are you worried that it sounds too different?
No, I'm talking about it starts at 1:45.
Oh, my bad. Okay, even before. What are you worried about it?
What I'm saying and like which ones to choose, or if like maybe go a different route.
Okay. No, see, like this is the part that I really like, and I think this is the part that you need to preserve. You're talking about like this part, right? Where the beat is like almost fracturing a little bit.
Yeah, and then I was just like, it's 3 different takes.
Yeah, but that's it. Like that's like the core of the song. So I really like it, and I would keep it. I honestly, beyond what I've already said, I wouldn't change those things because it's like I can tell that part of the song is reflective of how you think of joy. You know, like going into the hole and getting out of it, that part of 228 is perfect because it is the part that most accurately reflects what you were telling me about joy before. You know how we started this lesson and you told me what the song was about and you were like, I'm telling Joy that I'm always there?
No, it was Joy's telling me that she's always there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I tell Joy sometimes, it's a lot, but I tell Joy sometimes, like, I'm on my way to you. It's a lot sometimes.
Yeah. See, but, like, to me, this is why it works, right? Okay, so you said always at one point. You're saying always, Okay, wait. So which is it? That joy is always there for you, or that you're always there for joy?
Joy's always here for me.
Joy is always there for... Oh, exactly. Yeah. So this is why I think those bridges work. Those bridges work because it is so different. So it's like... And again, it comes back to the experience of time in music. And I don't mean to get all philosophical on you, so I'm going to draw you something real quick. But it's like, some songs work... I'm going to draw you something on the chart real quick. It's like some songs work by going to different places and then coming back, right? So, like, this is the start, this is the end, this is the song, right? Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay, so, like, you start out here. Some songs work by going, like, okay, we started here, we're going to come back, and this is a different place, right? Why I think this part of your music works best is because this is the experience of time in your song. Sorry, let me draw it real quick.
I hope you're drawing it correctly.
Why? Oh yeah. Here.
I just want to see what you think or where you think I'm going.
Yeah. So this is the experience of time to me when I hear that bridge. Can you see that?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So it's not that we've left here and gone there and then back to there. What happens to me at that bridge is that, like, we step out of time. And because this is why I think the word always is really important. Because if something is always, then you can tap into it in time at any moment, right? Like, that's kind of the thing, that's kind of the thing about God, right? It's like, God never changes. You know, if something is always and it's eternal, then in one sense, it never changes. So, like, what I like about that bridge is that I think it expresses, is that you step out of time for a second. It's two songs, to me. It's not that we've gone from one place to another place and then ended back where we were. It's that for that brief window in the middle, we hear a different song, and that's what Harry actually thinks of joy. And then we come back to it. What do you think?
Yep, that's pretty much kind of how it is.
Yeah, right? And this is what I mean, right? And this is what I mean. This is what I mean, bro. It's like, but anyone hearing that song would be like, or hearing what I just said would be like, no, Martin, there's just one song here. How could there possibly be two songs? Like, they might think like, to hear two songs, this is what really has to happen. Let me just do a quick demonstration. It's like now we're hearing two songs, right? Can you hear these? But that's a really simplistic understanding of how music works and how time works. So this is and that is why we actually hear two songs on it. Yes, nice. Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, so now it's just like, you need to orient your whole song around it. And it's not surprising that this has happened, because at what point in the chronological process of writing the song did you come up with that middle part? Was it the first thing you did? Was it in the middle, or...
Wait, which middle part are you talking about? 228?
Yeah, 228.
Like lyric-wise, that was like 2 nights ago. So kind of like kind of one of the last things.
See, exactly, because that's it. And I'm not surprised that this has happened, that the material that comes before it is somewhat unrelated, or not related enough, because you came up with it. Because most of the time we don't write music from the inside out, right? We write it start to end. We might even write it end to start. You know, you come up with the best idea and then you work towards it. But to work middle out is really tricky. But like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, when I hear that bridge, I do feel like I'm getting finally to what Harry actually thinks of joy. And like, I imagine like fucking like clouds clearing, and then suddenly you see like that perfect vision of joy, and it's like pristine and clean and everything, and then you go back. So now it's just like you need to bring that more to the forefront if that is the most important part of the song, you know? Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, so that's what I would do. But again, like, you know, and it usually works this way when we get together, right? Like, all the parts are there. Now you kind of just have to arrange them in such a way so that even a listener hearing it for the very first time will understand it too. Will know what you're going for too.
pretty much.
All right. Yeah. So what are you gonna do next?
I guess I'm gonna start reworking. I'm just gonna start from the top, to be honest.
Yeah.
And go from beat and first verse and what to inject, and then just go down from there.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. And yeah, like really, if the song is about that middle part, then make sure those lyrics are tight first, and make sure that that is really expressing what you think about joy, and then everything else kind of comes out of that, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's always something, motherfucker. It's always me, motherfucker. It's always me, motherfucker. I kept my distance. I started my sentence.
Yeah, and I mean, even that stuff kind of is more in line with, like, your, what I've heard from you before. Yeah, I mean, just, like, from the Satan's Lullaby guitar and shit like that. So, yes, sir. So what do you think, man? You look pensive. You
No, man, I'm just thinking what it will sound like.
Yeah.
Doubling more. Doubling the whole time, pretty much.
Yeah. Just don't do. If I were you, I wouldn't do the computer doubling, like real live record.
I meant like response.
Yeah.
Response is what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, like call and response. Yeah.
But like more, not even call and response, like call and clash, like they're talking, some are talking at the same time, type shit.
Yeah. Call and response is just like the technical term for when the musics go back and forth. So that's tight though. Are you gonna do a video for this one?
I don't know. I wasn't planning on that. I'm just trying to get this song done first.
I don't know, man. This is tight though.
This would be crazy. Wow, I haven't even thought about video ideas. That'd be insane.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I really like the first one though. So, is that your cousin, yo?
Yeah.
Yo, the beat is sick. The beat is sick.
Yeah, the beat is sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'll tell him what you said too about the beat and whatnot.
Yeah, and I mean it's small stuff. It's patches, but yeah, like I said, the sound samples. But beyond that, the beat is so flexible. You could really arrange it to accommodate the rapper however you want it, which is kind of the beautiful thing. That's not. It's not often that I imagine many producers get to the end of a song and they're like, damn, I still have this leftover amount of great material to use, But that's kind of the good position you're in, because the beats are so tight. And like I said, they change from one to the next so interestingly. So.
For sure, man. We'll be working, and I'll keep you updated.
Oh, yeah. Keep me updated. And, if you ever want me to mix or produce anything again, like for your vocals for this, but maybe your man's got that too. I mean, he did such a killer job with the beats. I would hate to pull it out, So like you're saying, like make, I don't know. I'd be real interested to see what you came up with your, like, call and clash kind of thing. Like, if you move one of your voices in the speaker, what do you call it? Like the panning area. You could do a lot with it. But yeah, man, I mean, it even just goes back to that. Like the initial departure point for me was like, oh my God, Harry is on a fucking trap beat, even though it doesn't sound perfectly like trap. I would fucking love to know, man. Like, I would pay Jean Grey like $1,000 to just rap over a trap beat, because what you could do to it, it's just like, you want to hear that. It's why fucking Kanye made Fashion, because people were like, dude, Kanye makes awesome rap songs, then he made awesome rap videos. What would his rap clothes look like? And it's just like, you gotta take that artistic vision from one to the next, and then it's always consistent. That's why it's so easy to talk about Kanye West. Obviously, there are other geniuses out there, but his vision has always been so consistent, you can really talk about it in like a point A to point B kind of fucking way, So, alright, but yeah, hit me up, man, and let me know how it goes.
Alright, brother.
Alright, yeah, I'll talk to you later, man. Peace. See ya later.